All right, today we're going to be learning about the printmaking process. We have already created our printing plate on styrofoam. Today we're going to ink it and create our prints as you see here. I have all of the steps written on the smartboard, so at any time if you forget what to do, please look at the smartboard. I already have a table prepared over here so I can demonstrate all of the steps. Step number 1 says, roll ink all over your printing plate. At your table, you are going to have newspaper down to cover the table. You will already have a tray with ink. This is called a brayer, and what we're going to do is roll the brayer in the ink. As we roll it, you're going to go back and forth until the whole brayer is covered with ink. Your goal is not to cover the tray with ink, but to cover the brayer with ink. You can see it's not ready yet because I can still see black. I'm going to keep rolling until my whole brayer is covered with ink. Then I'm going to roll my ink on my stamp back and forth. And I'm going to turn my wrist as I go in order to make sure that everything's getting covered. Anytime I run out of ink, if it's see-through here, I'm going to go back to my tray to get more. And then I'm going to continue until the entire stamp is covered. We have newspaper down because it's very messy. You'll get it on the table and that's fine. Once you have the whole stamp completely covered, step number 2 on the board says place paper on inked plate. This is the paper at your table. I've already set up your complementary colors for you. You will place your paper on top. As you set it down, you cannot wiggle it, so take your time to make sure it's just where you want it and gently press it. Now step 3 says, stand in line to use the printing press. You get to walk to the printing press where we will have a line. Please go to the end of the line when you get here. You will be placing your stamp on here with the styrofoam side up. I'm going to be at the printing press to make sure this is done correctly. Then you're going to turn the handle, and sometimes it needs a little help getting pushed through, so that's why I'm going to be here to help. And as you're turning this, it's going to press your stamp tight so that it prints onto that paper. You'll keep turning it until it comes out the back. Now that it's through, you're going to get to open it to reveal your beautiful print. Now my next step, it says step number 5 is step number 4 will be to place my wet print on the drying rack. We're finding that the drying rack is not working, so we're actually going to place it here on the floor by the whiteboard. Please make sure not to step on anybody else's artwork. Then we're going to go to the sink to wash off our print. We need to wash it because you're going to make 3 more of these with a clean styrofoam piece. Each time I wash it, there's already a sponge in the sink. I just turn on the water and rub it clean. I also need to dry it. I leave the sponge in the sink. Just set it right on this newspaper here. Grab 1 or 2 paper towels and dry it clean. You need to dry both sides, so flip it over. And it needs to be completely dry before you put any new ink onto this styrofoam print. Now that I have it dry, step number 6 says go to a different table to repeat the process with all the complementary colors. You will be finished with your project once you have 3 prints complete in all the sets of complementary colors.